I'm Austin Wilson, co-portfolio manager at Hixon Zuercher Capital Management.
And I am Chase Rose, Associate Wealth Advisor at Hixon Zuercher Capital Management. We are here to
Right
give you
here.
a market right here on this table, giving you a market and economic update for the month of November, looking back at spooky October.
Spooky October. Yeah.
Austin, could you give us a start with how the markets performed last?
Of course. So the markets were a bit spooked themselves in October. See what I did there. Historically speaking, October may be okay. Starts a decent fourth quarter from a historical perspective. This year, not the case. The S&P 500, it was down 2.2%. The Dow Jones Industrial Average down 1.1%. The NASDAQ, the big winner of the year so far, down 3.4%. Small caps were down 5.4%. Developed international stocks down 1.8%. Emerging market stocks down 3.8%. And even bonds, continuing their rough patch as well, were down 0.9%. So overall, October was another rough month following a couple before that. So
unfortunate to hear. Now we're going to bank into a little bit of the crypto industry.
Ooh, crypto.
Last night, Sam Bankman-Fried, who was the founder of FTX, was found guilty by a jury on all 7 charges of fraud and conspiracy. Sentencing for that will be held in March, but he could face up to 115 years.
That's a long time.
That is a long time for stealing money from people.
I mean, he did not do good things.
Yeah, of course.
Man, SBF.
Yeah, SBF.
Not good.
Not
Number 2, inflation. It crept up again on a headline basis. So that includes food and energy. That's kind of the overall basket of goods for the third consecutive month. So headline CPI for September, which was released in October, came in at 3.7% year over year. Now that's still a lot better than we were seeing in 2022 when we were looking at the 9s. That was really bad. But still, more than we've seen in a while, but on the right path, even though it's been up a couple months in a row. When you take food and energy out, core CPI, that actually fell, though, for the 6th consecutive month, and that was up 4.15% year over year, which still a little too hot for what the Fed would like to see. They kind of like to see that 2% when it comes to core, but on the right path in terms of core.
We were just talking the other day. You've never talked about the Federal Reserve so much in your life.
I know. It seems like the last couple of years, it's been the Fed, the Fed, the Fed, the Fed. And prior to that, it's like, oh, the Fed has interest rates really low. So who really cares?
Yeah.
We care now.
We do care. Absolutely. All right. Next news story. So HBO CEO Casey Bloys recently admitted that he had asked employees to make secret Twitter or X. I don't want to upset Elon Musk.
Yeah,
he's watching.
He is watching.
He made his employees make secret Twitter accounts to harass its critics, which he actually joined in on. He said there was a silver lining, though. He said he avoided public shaming and went to Twitter DMs instead. So that's,
okay. Well, at least it wasn't public.
Yeah, of course. But that is just insane in my mind.
It is. It's organized shaming.
Sure is.
Slid right into the DMs.
Yeah.
Number 3, the Fed. We're going to talk about it now because we have to. They paused again on November 1st. And that was the 3rd time this tightening cycle that they've taken a meeting off from hiking. And actually, odds are that rate increases are done for the cycle. So the market is currently pricing in 0 interest rate hikes from this point on. And actually, interest rate cuts starting next summer. It's really too early to be seeing if that's what's going to happen. But it seems likely that interest rate hikes are done, although the Fed may be a little bit less firm on what they would say about interest rate hikes being done. The market's saying probably so. So hopefully that's the case. It's been a rapid and long tightening cycle for about a year and a half of consistent interest rate increases over 5%, from pretty much 0 up to over 5% has been a tough run. And all of our different asset classes, from stocks to bonds to currencies, have really been impacted by this. So hopefully some less change is what I would say. It's not necessarily the decrease or the increase, but less change is going to be good. So there's less uncertainty in the markets.
Yeah, awesome. All right. So there's a common saying that you can make money in just about anything. You just have to have the passion, desire to do it, or whatever traits you need in order to be successful.
Beanie Baby trading.
Yeah. Is that your go-to? Is that
maybe? Well, I had a lot of Beanie Babies in the late 90s.
You seem like a Beanie Baby kind of guy. However, I saw this news article the other day. I needed to share it. China's richest person, their wealthiest person, made billions bottling pristine water
Well,
in a nearly uninhabited mountain range in southern China.
Wow.
So that just goes to show you can make money doing anything.
water.
If you find a clean water source, there is no limit to how much you can make on that. So
I mean, think about water. It's a finite resource.
it is.
If you know where there's good water, you can make some money.
Absolutely.
Think about
Potentially billions.
Think about the profitability of the bottled water industry.
All you got to do is just show
It's
up with
very, very low cost.
Yeah.
And even though it's not expensive to buy a bottle of water, the
Mhm.
profit on that is huge.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Bottle water.
Billions.
Make billions.
Yeah, make billions.
Number 4, it's sad, but during the month of October, the Israel-Hamas conflict kind of took off and gained some steam. Lots of loss of life on both sides, which is really sad. But as investors, we need to be reassured that typically these conflicts, which there have been many of in a lot of similar situations over the years, have proved very short-lived in terms of their impact to either the stock or the bond market. So while there's a lot of sadness going on TV, a lot of uncertainty geopolitically, we just need to rest reassured that, hey, this too shall pass. It's going to be okay. There's almost always some sort of conflict or geopolitical drama going on around the world. And this time, hopefully, is no different. And as long as it doesn't escalate into world war, we really have, hopefully, a good cause for markets rebounding from some of the uncertainty, both stocks and bonds from there. So keep the long-term thinking on and we'll be okay.
Absolutely. All right. So Uber. I'm sure we've all been on our fair share of Uber rides in our life. However, they are now offering hot air balloon rides in Turkey.
Really?
As part of its push into the tourism industry. So if you ever find yourself over in Europe, in Turkey, well, I guess Turkey's not in Europe, is it?
It is.
Oh, hey,
Yeah,
what
Eastern
do I know?
Europe.
What do I know? I work in finance, not in geography. So if you ever find yourself in Turkey, not only is the inflation rate extremely high in Turkey, but you can also snag yourself a hot air balloon ride. The prices for those are probably going up insanely.
They're like the balloon.
Like the balloon.
It's taking off.
Yeah.
All right. 5th and final thing I'm going to talk about is that a new Speaker of the House of Representatives has been voted in to replace Kevin McCarthy on October 25th. Mike Johnson of Louisiana was finally voted in, and there was about 3 weeks of some Republican Party indecision on who was really going to be Speaker of the House at that point, but he did get voted in. He is Speaker, so the House has leadership once again. So that had been a few weeks of uncertainty, but is not uncertain anymore.
All right. Austin, were you hoping to get a Super Bowl ad for this?
Oh, yeah. I've been saving up.
Yeah. Well, I'm sorry to have to break this news.
They're already filled up.
Yeah.
Dang it.
CBS reported yesterday that it is virtually sold out of 2024 Super Bowl ads, which is actually the earliest. I don't know. Actually, I apologize. I don't know if it's the earliest, but it is typically much earlier than usual.
Huh.
Well, it's earlier than what's usual. I apologize, but yeah, that's sorry to rain.
You have to save up for next year.
Yeah, I don't know if we have the right category for Super Bowl commercials though.
Oh,
it's
you
not
wait.
Crypto. It's not artificial intelligence.
That's going to be the theme this year.
Probably.
It's going to be all over AI.
I would assume so.
It's going to be interesting.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for listening. Thank you, Chase, for joining me on this video today. Please remember, nothing we talked about is a recommendation, but if you have any questions about your financial situation, give us a call at 419-425-2400 or email us at hello@hzcapital.com, and we'd be happy to talk to you. And until next month, have a good one.
See ya.
Bye.
Josh Robb and Austin Wilson work for Hixon Zuercher Capital Management. All opinions expressed by Josh, Austin, or any guests are solely their own opinions and do not reflect the opinions of Hixon Zuercher Capital Management. This is for informational purposes only and should not be relied upon for investment decisions. Clients of Hixon Zuercher Capital Management may maintain positions in the securities discussed. There is no guarantee that the statements, opinions, or forecasts provided herein will prove to be correct. Past performance may not be indicative of future results. Indices are not available for direct investment. Any investor who attempts to mimic the performance of an index would incur fees and expenses which would reduce returns. Securities investing involves risk, including the potential for loss of principal. There is no assurance that any investment plan or strategy will be successful.